Today, we are talking about the uniqueness of aquarylic color when combined with oil paints. First, I'll show you how to mix the oil paints with aquarylic colors. Then I'll show you the possibilities of how you can apply the colors together and on top of each other. Here, I mix the aquarylic color Aquamarine with the traditional oil paint Cadmium Red Dark. Take a small spatula and mix them together. This requires some patience when working with traditional oil paint. Once you've achieved the desired consistency, you can apply it to the canvas or painting surface. Here, I mix the aquarylic color Aquamarine with water mixable oil paint. You can see from the consistency that it mixes much more easily and becomes a more homogeneous mass. Now, let's look at a way to work in layers. On the left canvas, I'm using traditional oil paint Aquarylic Blue, and on the right one, traditional oil paint Cadmium Red Dark. Apply these colors with a brush to your canvas or whatever painting surface you want to use. Then, brush the aquarylic color Aquamarine on the left side and the aquarylic color Signal Red on the right side. The special thing about this is that you don't have to let the oil paint dry. Smooth it out a bit with a spatula. There are no cracks and the oil paint still has the opportunity to dry completely. After drying, the surfaces are very similar. The acrylic color has a shorter drying time, so you can quickly paint over it with oil paint and still maintain the character of an oil painting. Here, I'll show you another way to apply the paint. On the left canvas, I am using traditional oil paint Cadmium Red Dark and immediately applying the acrylic color Dark Grey Blue on top. It takes a bit of patience for the colors to mix, but that's what makes the artwork exciting in the end. I don't let the painting dry in between, but work on it until I like the result. When you mix the acrylic color with traditional oil paint, you won't get a 100% homogeneous mass, but interesting effects will occur. On the right canvas, I'm using water mixable oil paint in combination with acrylic color Dark Grey Blue. Mix the colors together and layer them until the desired result is achieved. You can clearly see the difference on the left canvas. Using traditional oil paint, you can continually remove and reapply the material for an extended period. In this case, I first apply the acrylic color with a brush and let this area dry. On the left, we have traditional oil paint Cadmium Red Dark, and on the right, water mixable oil paint Cadmium Red Dark. my tip for you: experiment and work in many layers. This is a very experimental way of working, because you can never predict exactly what will happen. The biggest advantage of combining acrylic color is that the oil paint dries faster, and the surface doesn't change when it's dry. There are no cracks and the character of an oil painting remains. As an artist, I always use traditional oil paints in combination with acrylic. This creates painting effects that haven't been seen before. You can see in the dried painting with traditional oil paint that interesting effects occur. And there's the result with water mixable oil paint. The surface is much more homogeneous. Now, have fun experimenting. Let us know in the comments if you tried and feel free to give us your feedback. In this spirit, pure color, pure joy.